All right, after popular request, it sounds like people want to build their own AI agents. Should have mentioned this is actually going to cost a little bit of money, but I think it's completely worth it. So later on, Nathan Greklek is going to hop on with me to walk through his setup, and we'll get a little bit deeper, but this is sort of the start of the video. So you can kind of think about this as like the pre-work in order to get to the next part of this. So, all right, first off is we need poke.com. This lives in iMessage. Here, you're going to go up here, press get started. It's going to open up your messaging app. I think the best experience is on iMessage, but feel free to try this on Android and just use SMS. Probably easier if you visit poke.com on your mobile device. You click get started, they'll immediately start texting with what Poke calls the bouncer. The bouncer is one of the best onboarding experiences I've ever seen. Effectively, it is almost like putting you in the position of qualifying yourself to it. So normally you sign up for these products and you're like, you have this psychological positioning of like, I'm the customer, therefore I'm right. Poke flips it and says, prove to me why you should be a customer of ours. It's really brilliant. And because when you set this up, you launch Poke, it's going to start asking you to connect like your email addresses, like single sign-on, your calendar. And what it's going to do is actually, it's going to start researching you in the background. It'll start going through like Twitter and other social media, trying to figure out really who you are, what your triggers are, but then it's going to use all of that to negotiate against you. I think it's one of the most human feeling experiences, but this is going to be sort of the main agent that we interact with every single day. So start it ahead of time so you can complete the video with me. The other thing to note is that throughout the bouncer process, you are going to be negotiating your personal price. So I will tell you at the end of the video what I pay, what Nathan was able to do, but I can definitely recommend as you're negotiating with the bouncer, anybody that's read Never Split the Difference, you have a very big advantage, and hopefully you'll be able to get it down to an affordable price. Either way, I think it's completely worth it. So that's poke.com. Next up is we're going to go to manus.im. All right, so then you're going to go to manus.im. Manus.im is one of those services that's basically taking an LLM and then wrapping around it. What I really like about it is you basically have parallel research available to you where it enlists the help of multiple agents at one time to complete a task. So basically you give it a task and then it'll break that down into sort of say like 10 to 20 micro tasks. And then each agent, it'll deploy a bunch of agents to execute the micro tasks and then compile all of those tasks into one finished product. It's pretty freaking awesome, and it's become one of my favorite LLM tools for deep research. I sometimes will be using it for example, pagespeed.web.dev reports. If I'm meeting a dealer group and they're like on my calendar in a half hour and I'm scrambling, I'll have Manus go through all of their websites, run them through pagespeed.web.dev, create a CSV. So I'll have data for that meeting. But this is going to be a key one because this main feature right here, which is mail to Manus, which means as long as you have the ability to iMessage, you have the ability to sort of get to Manus. And we'll explain how that all works. But you're basically eventually going to be connecting in a loose way Manus to poke.com. The next one we're going to need is Howie.ai. Hopefully, yeah, I'm not logged in. Okay, so Howie. Oh, look, they can afford .com now. Good for them. All right, so Howie is basically, it is an LLM that is just managing your calendar. So everybody's done this whole like back and forth, send a Calendly link. Oh wait, is Calendly link kind of rude? What's really cool about Howie is one, you can white label it. So mine's name is Amy. If you need to know the details of that, there used to be a service called x.ai before X, aka Twitter, bought that domain. And x.ai had this assistant named Amy that Amy Ingram AI that you could use and kind of did a lot of what Howie does. But the cool thing is you can talk to it in a natural language. And if you CC Howie onto your emails, it'll sort of take over and then coordinate when that meeting is going to happen. So much of my inbox is just trying to figure out when the meeting's going to happen, and whether I'm the one actually scheduling, and then Howie is basically able to keep track of that because I have multiple calendars, or I let Howie just sort of take care of it and let it go on autopilot and figure it out with the person. I highly recommend it. And we're going to be kind of giving Howie also, I call them skills. We're going to give Poke sort of access to Howie too. And then next is mcp.zapier.com. So here you're going to have, you're familiar with Zapier, don't know. I think you'll only need the free plan, but you might have to pay like $20 a month. And here, what we're going to sign up for is basically to set up different MCP servers so that we can enhance poke.com, but we can also enhance Manus and allow those things to have access to even more information and also allow them to take more actions. Once you've signed up for all of these different products, maybe pause the video now, go sign up, set everything up. Poke is going to take the longest because you have to negotiate your price. But once that all is set up, then continue on watching this video with me and Nathan, trying to plug everything together, setting up Zapier MCP, setting up Manus, setting up Howie, and how it all kind of coordinates together through poke.com. Cool. Pause for a second, and then you'll see Nathan and I help you out with the rest. Where do we want to begin? Let's start because I think we want to show the audience. Are you on a Mac right now?
Yeah.
How comfortable do you feel with pulling up Poke in iMessage? You don't have any weird pokes yet, you know?
Like whenever I get into any AI situation,
yeah,
typically, you know, you got to train it. You got to do. I'm knowledgeable about that, right? So,
sure.
I have a lot of different things that I got going on. So I created essentially. So every week my management team wants me to know where I am. Typically Mondays I do Honda all day. Tuesdays I pick up my daughter, my in-laws. So 50-50 on Thursdays, Wednesdays, switching to the 9th on Wednesday for that. And then I asked if it reads photos or screenshots for reminders, etc. He said, yeah, definitely do that. I said, how about documents like PDFs? It says it can read Word docs. However, I sent Word docs and it couldn't read it. So I had an issue with that.
I think it can do it from a Gmail.
So if it's in the Gmail?
Yeah. So what's interesting about Poke is it's actually, I know at least it's one agent talking to at least 2 others, if not 3 others. So it'll basically, when it's doing that, like it'll sort of do this pause typing thing.
Yeah.
And it's actually typing over to the other agent. And it'll be like, hey, email agent. It'll kind of take what you asked it, turn that into a optimized prompt for the email agent.
Right.
And then it'll tell email agent, go do this. And then email agent comes back and then it gives you that info. So I'm pretty sure email agent can do a Word doc because it can definitely do PDFs and it can definitely do Excel.
Right.
Have you played with MCP yet?
No idea.
Oh, bro, this is basically an API to different data points.
Gotcha.
So if you want Claude or ChatGPT to be able to read any of these outside services, MCP is basically, think of it as an API into all of that stuff.
So just kind of show you, this is what I have set up in Poke at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. So I think we're going to be using Zapier mostly for the other tools that we want Poke to have access to.
Roger.
So go ahead and add in that same, back to Zapier. Yeah. Add tool here and then add probably your personal Google Calendar if that's where you're going to be coordinating things.
Yep.
Okay. And then there might be a way to select a very specific calendar within Google Calendar. You know how Google Calendar can have multiple calendars.
Right.
All right. So now, what's that?
So it didn't show up before.
Oh, is there any other tool that you use for that part of your life? Like, because we're basically going to have this MCP server be like that part of you. Anything else you want it to be able to see or log into, and we can always come back, bro.
I say if I think of something, I can add it. I'm like,
Okay,
oh
cool.
yeah, that's something that it may need access to.
Let's go to Manus now.
Manus, you're Manus to society.
Have you been playing with it at all?
I played with it a little bit, actually a lot of it.
I fucking love it.
This is the presentation I had to make for me. So
Nice.
Working on a PR presentation for the group, for the owners that, when they speak and different things like that, wherever they are, to kind of give a little thing.
Sick. Looks good.
That was before I changed it. Now it's
I mean,
now it's Mohawk blue. It changed the colors.
Totally. All right. So here we're gonna go up to you, like your little icon on the top right. Let's go to settings, and then we're gonna go to connectors, add connector, custom MCP. Over up the top, it's a tab. Yep.
What's MCP stand for?
Model Context Protocol.
Ah, fun.
Yeah, because it's basically trying to give the model context so that it can like understand how to best answer a question. So it's like it injects in, it like goes in, searches for like what it thinks would be the best emails to look at,
right?
And then it takes that and then puts it in so that your initial prompt is like, hey, look at my emails, copy paste this big old block of emails in. What should I do? And then it kind of just like looks at the new context you gave it, so it can give you a good answer. Later on, you can do the customized email addresses and instructions to process different tasks. So like if you want to make another workflow email for just Gifted Geek, if you want to make a different email for just Mohawk. So that way, but like for the sake of just setting it up now, just show you how to do the one. So now we're just going to tell it about when to execute using that email address. All right, send that. And I would probably, double down on this because you'll eventually find stuff that you really want Manus to be in charge of, and then you can go back and be like, hey, new idea for Manus, like blah, blah, blah. But yes, you'll be drafting and sending using my email accounts. So now we can test this out and say, cool, what's something we can do with Manus real quick? Like create a website. Do you have a Gifted Geeks website?
Yeah.
And so you won't say, sorry, just as a small nitpicky thing, you won't say take a look. You'll say have Manus look.
Oh.
Because you almost have to start thinking about these as like different employees.
Right.
That Poke is sort of managing.
Gotcha. You got a reputation meeting in 10 minutes.
Yeah, bro. I got a budget meeting in 10 minutes. I'll draft that email to management and asking for comprehensive view, improvement recommendations. Perfect. So hopefully it'll sort of expand. It'll like make an optimized prompt for Manus now. And then we'll just tell you, yep, send that. That will get sent through your Gmail to Manus. And then we should see on the Manus side a new task pop up in its thing with whatever it's about to execute. Yeah, this is perfect. So now if we go back to Manus, just exit out of this, yeah?
Sorry.
And then boom, love. This, like, see the task?
Wow, there it is.
Yay. So now when you say like schedule time with Ben, say like, okay, schedule time with Ben Hadley, we want to see it, draft an email, CC Howie, and then you can just say, send it to me. Now, ironically, my Poke should add, I renamed my Howie Amy. So my Poke should actually add Amy. And this is going to be funny, but our Amy's and our Howies should go back and forth with each other and just figure shit out.
Okay.
So this is like the basics. I mean, we can go deeper. Sub-optimizing Manus and sub-optimizing Howie. This is the moment it's actually coordinating with your calendar. It's Poke's internal calendar agent.
Right.
And then it's coordinating with Poke's internal Gmail agent, which are all MCP servers. All right, perfect. See, they added Howie to this email. So now if you send that, I'll get the email, but Howie's going to take over. If I go back and be like, oh, that doesn't work for me, what about this? I can have Amy working with Howie and they can just hammer it out together until they find a time. And you're not, because normally what Poke wants you to do is like, it'll come back and be like, oh, Ben suggested Thursday. You cool with Thursday? We don't want that. What we want is the two agents to sort of be working in the background together to just figure it all out and then pop up on your calendar and you're like, oh shit, I guess I'm meeting with Ben on Friday. Cool. You know?
Yeah.
That's what this does now.
Nice.
So now we got your calendar is all figured out. We got the deep research part. The next time I think we hop on, we'll go a little deeper with Manus so that it's plugged into more places. Because like what you might do, for example, is like on your executive
checklist,
you might say, hey, I don't want just the executive checklist, but I want Manus to do a deep dive into my inboxes by connecting more MCP servers to Manus and research the ones that I'm most behind on. Or because like Manus is so good. My version of Manus right now, every morning, it creates an API call to my Aura ring and then sends my latest health to Poke. So I have Poke look at the draft inbox for this Aura ring email. Manus drafts and sends the email. And then Poke changes how it responds to me based on how little sleep I got. So it's like, oh, dude, you're like a 60 out of 100 today. Like, I'm going to take it easy on you. It's like, oh, you're a 90 out of 100? Cool. We're going to rip today. Like, let's do some tasks. And so there's
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah, you can almost think of Manus as like catch-all because you can basically, if there's an API or an MCP out that exists,
yeah,
you can expose that information through Gmail. And then you just have to tell Poke, this is the subject line you're looking for. And this is what I want it to mean in our life. And yeah. So like for a salesperson,
some of these, yeah.
For a salesperson, it would be like an API call to your CRM through Manus to here, or you make like an actual MCP server to your CRM. So it could be like, hey, you have an email from this customer, or hey, you haven't followed up. I have to get rid of it now. And I know you have to leave, but these guys have had an MCP server. That's what made this so powerful, is that Poke had direct access to this. So we could look at my whole context of my day and then write emails or whatever based on like the entirety of my day that it heard through here. Right. So that, that's like Poke sitting next to me basically and listening to everything.
Right. That's so cool.
If I was a salesperson.
Are you going to go to Plod, you think? Because Plod has
I think I'm going to go to, there's a company that allows you to hack these called OMI, OMI, and install their software on it. So I'm going to try that first. But dude, imagine you put this on every salesperson's neck. Right. At the end of the month, you just said, hey, what do we need to train on? What type of objections are most common that I could write an SEO blog on? What's the number one fact question that we don't have on our website? Right? Like, what's content I should shoot that the audience that we have in the showroom would appreciate?
Right.
Like,
that's cool.
And anyways,
so
we'll do this again so we can like go a little deeper, but this is pretty good setup so far. Now it's just tinkering.
I can't wait to, so like I will be like, hey, I'm been working on creating an executive assistant. I would love to test it on how the way it's set up, what I know about it. So I'm gonna see if they'll let me get access to Auto Group email.
Yeah, dude. All right, dude.
All right.
I'll see you later.